Back on campus with Coach Probst. And Coach, last week you guys went a little road trip down to Cleveland on Thursday night. Got out of there with a 58-13 victory. Take us back to last week, and they ran a lot of 5-wide sets and stuff prior to the year. I'm sure they did probably last week as well, but you were able to handle them, hold them to 13. You put up 56 on them, or is it 58? 58, excuse me. But a big victory on the road.
Yeah, that was good. I thought it was a good win. I thought we played well. We started fast, and I think when you start fast on the road, that's sort of been my MO, or anybody's MO for that matter. I mean, not just mine, but anytime you're on the road, you have to start fast. You have to silence the crowd. You have to sort of set your own tempo like you want to set it. And I think that was the key of what we did other night.
Coach, this week you got another road trip, this one to Cold Springs, and I think we're about an hour and 40 minutes from there. Just your mindset when you approach a little trip like that. It's a little bit longer than a normal road trip, but how do you tell the guys to approach it? Because you don't want them too low where they come in dragging. You don't want them too high where they're losing juice, but kind of hit that medium ground there.
Well, you know, when I was in Georgia, it was always anything over 2.5 hours, we would stay overnight. Somewhere between that 2.5 to 3 hour window, we went the night before, and I think that it was always tough at that hour and a half, an hour and 45 minute, 2 hour deal, because it made it more difficult to decide what you want to do. You know, do you want to go the day before? Because that 2 hours can be tough, you know, and I think especially on a yellow school bus.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in the conversation before we went on the air. I think that it's always tough to, and again, when I was in Hoover, everything was within the hour. Even going to Decatur wasn't bad, but even Decatur being an hour and a half from Hoover, we would go up earlier that morning, go in a hotel, lay around during the day or in a church or somewhere to get up there and not just get off a bus and go play. We're doing a little bit of that today, heading to where we're going, but I think when you travel a long way, there's always that fear that you're going to be lethargic. I compare it, Bo, to an SEC game on Saturday morning at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's very similar.
Right.
You know, and I've talked to Coach Saban about that. I've talked to other people that have done that and how they do that.
Yep.
And and so it's there is some magic there and a formula that you have to sort of figure out what's best for your team.
Right.
I don't know this team that well yet, so we're still treading through water on some things. But I know we've got this trip, and then in a couple of weeks we got to go to Tuscaloosa, which is a trip that we'll probably spend the night before.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't blame you on that one because that's a little haul too. That one is going to be over 2 hours there. So another Thursday night game. Business, you said Sundays you attack like Mondays, and you just move everything up. But this one you had a full week because you had a Thursday night, and then you got a Thursday the following.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
You may have. Well, you had 3 in a row Thursdays, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Yep.
That's crazy, but mindset, nothing changes then. It's just business as usual, move everything up a day.
It is. I think what it helps is the officials. You'll get a more experienced crew. I'm not saying a better crew. You'll get a more experienced crew when you go Thursday night because of usually you get their A crew on Thursday night. So that's one advantage. I know they do that in Georgia on Friday, Saturday. It's not a Thursday, Friday, but Friday, Saturday in Georgia. Even the playoffs, 1A, 3A, 5A is usually a Saturday first round, 2A, 4A, 6A is Friday night. So because of the officials. And I think in this situation, going to Cold Springs, they have a fall break tomorrow. So he wanted to play it on Thursday, and we obliged him because we'd played on Thursday, and then of course West End next week. I think is our it's good for us because then we got TA the next week. So it worked out. And I don't mind playing on Thursday. I don't. You just got
a big crowd.
Yeah, and other people in the county get to see you play.
That's right.
And so I think it helps in our crowd, and I think that. But tonight's game, Bo, is a big game. It's for the region championship. It's an important ball game for us for a lot of reasons. Number one, I think the school's first region championship possibility, and second, more importantly, playoff positioning. You want to be that one seed if all possible, and that's very important that we secure that number one seed and then put ourselves in the best bracket that we can possibly in.
Yeah, because that's everything. Hosting's obviously important, but that number one seed's even more important than that.
It is.
Because when the playoffs get here, no room for messing up or anything like that. But what have you seen from Cold Springs? If I'm not mistaken, they've been averaging around 50-something points a game offensively. And, I think they put up, 55 on Susan. The list goes on and on. But what have you seen from them?
Very explosive offensively. They do a really good job. Coach Ho is Brandon. I've talked to Brandon a couple of times this week. Very class act guy. Good football coach. This is their best season maybe ever or in a long time. They're billing this game as the biggest game in school history. Again, if you don't get off the bus ready to play, and they get hot offensively, they can put up a bunch of points very fast, and that's what you better hope that you control. They're going to score. They're going to score some. I'm not naive to think we're going to go out there and put a big goose egg up. I know Teddy wouldn't want me to say that, but I think you got to be realistic too. We just got to control the tempo, control what they do to us, figure it out. Kids have got to not panic. Don't let the emotions dictate how you play. Don't get so emotional that you bust assignments and you play like a wild man and you're not executing what we do.
Yeah.
You have to execute. First and foremost, execution wins games, not emotions. And so
that's a good point.
it is. It sometimes emotions get you in trouble, and you get penalties. And we have to maintain a sense of emotional control and limit our penalties. We cannot have personal fouls. You're going to get a holding call. You're going to get a PI possibly. Okay? That's 25 yards. You're going to probably jump off sides once. That's 30 yards. And you're probably going to have an illegal procedure. That's 35 yards. I can live with 40 or under.
Yeah.
40 or under you can live with. But anything over that, you start running the risk of it costing your football team.
You're right. And in a game like this where you can literally sell up region championship, you need to play pretty clean. Anytime you play an offense that's averaging 50 a game, you need to play pretty clean.
Yeah, you better.
But also offensively, you can't give them opportunities, short fields and things like that.
No.
Talk about how important it is to take care of the ball and be sound on special teams.
Well, I think our special teams have been pretty good. As last week, we got started off real well. We get an opening possession. We stole a possession there. I think that special teams is a key to any big game. When you look at it, I don't know if you heard about the Pell City-Oxford game last week. Special teams dominated the game for Oxford, and that's how they won the game. So in this situation, we have to be very good in special teams, and dang sure can't get beat in it. Whether we win it, in it, but we dang sure can't get beat in it. And then the other thing is we have to be very smart with the football offensively. We got to have ball security, running back, wide receiver. We got to hold on to the football. Max got to be smart with the ball, and not turn it over and put the ball in places that they don't need to. Let the game come to you. Don't try to go win it by yourself. And that's the things that we'll keep preaching all day today when we're doing walkthroughs and all that kind of stuff.
Coach, final question. I always like to kick it back to you just for final thoughts.
Well, again, we're starting to figure some things out. I know Teddy's done a phenomenal job defensively. We've done this with smoke and mirrors because, again, when you're only playing 13 or 14 kids, now, obviously we've got more kids playing now because they're starting to get some experience, and we're starting to hopefully get to that 15, 16 kids that can play. And by that time, depth will be a key factor come playoff time. So that I think is a huge key. Staying healthy is a huge key. And then obviously if we can get out of Cooper Coley, the Keener kid, Jaquan, Nick Nunn, Jaquan Allen and Nick Nunn, of course Rex Dodd's been playing, but we've got about 5 or 6 kids, Carson Reed. These guys are starting to plug in. That's now giving us some depth that we can rest LJ and Grayson and, you know what I'm saying, and Joseph. Joseph's playing defense, so now obviously being defense and a running back, tailback, that's hard.
Yeah.
So Carson gives us some depth there, and Carson can also play H, and Kylan can play running back. So there's a lot there, and I think that hopefully as we get through these next few games that we will secure our depth and be a deeper football team come playoff run.
Coach, I appreciate you sitting in with us. Good luck to you tonight and in your venture going to win the championship. I know the guys have got to be excited in the school as well.
Thank you. Thank you.